theme for the camp was Every Child is Special, and we wanted children to learn how to make wise choices for what gets into their thoughts, to what gets into their mind, and also to learn that they have a right to be, not to be discriminated against. So our theme was Every Child is Special. So the rights that we looked at were the rights to information, and we were majorly helping children to learn to appreciate their rights, but also to learn to make wise choices while interacting with the forms of media.
Being a teacher, I enjoyed that teaching most because it would give you a different understanding of children. I actually sometimes would have discussions with them and didn't know that they had such brilliant ideas, especially when it came to the topic of media. I was surprised that children who are 9 years, 12 years are on Facebook. That was really a new thing to me. I thought it's for people who are about 20 and above. So basically I enjoyed the classroom time because I got to know them differently, because that's the time I really had discussions one-on-one with them.
So we have a lot of different messages we've talked about here, from sexual abuse to child advocacy to education to sports. But I think the most important message we've taught these kids is spirituality. We start off with devotions in the morning with the kids, and everything we do comes back to our faith and what type of men we want these kids to grow up to and women they want to grow up to, and it all comes back to their faith and their spirituality.
During class, study time, because our teachers were so lovely and we could joke in our classes.
What I enjoy the most is working with many children. Teaching them, going through the competitions, the small competitions we had. They were fun. They were fun. And working with the fellow facilitators, we really coordinate very well.
The second right that we dealt with was the right to non-discrimination, which we also merged with the rights for children with special needs or with disability. This was mainly to help children understand that despite our differences, the way we were created, we are all one in Christ, to learn to appreciate each other's differences, to include ourselves, to learn the inclusion, that it's important to include others in everything that we do, and to know that they shouldn't discriminate against each other. That lesson, or that right, was crowned up with a visit to Wacheru, a rehabilitation center for special needs children in Mukono.
I've learned how to model, and I've learned that I have a right to non-discrimination.
It was good to see children sharing with caregivers, sharing with children themselves that were on rehabilitation. In a way, it made more sense, because initially we had heard someone talk about disability, and this is someone that had survived with cerebral palsy. So sharing his personal experience, coupled up with the experiences that they had shared with the parents and the children from the rehabilitation center, I think it was really great.
Some of these children come here, some are rejected, some are just brought in by people who just know them, because the others are from poor backgrounds. So they don't get enough medical support, but when they bring them here, we give them all the kind of medical support they want. So when people come in from other places and then they come and see them and talk to them, they encourage them to know that they really care for them. And even me as a person, it makes me happy when people come and see how are my children doing. These children, when they came, they encouraged the remaining children by giving them help and dialoguing, talking with them, meant a lot. Gave them some example to look to see that they also care for them and they are thinking about them. And they love them in spite of what they are going through.
Nenu polgi eka gina oloka baisho mi wana da ho maro gi gina wana mo hani joti maro wa.
All those with disabilities are special like me, and they have their rights and they should be treated as I treat my siblings and other normal people.
I've learned that these children also need to be included in everything we do. We shouldn't discriminate them because they are also children and they also love to engage with other children.
I have learned that the disabled people are also special like me, and they even them they have rights like me.
I'm going to love the disabled and I'm going to play with them. I'm going to teach them their rights.
In the morning, you would see them tell one another that you can't dress up in that. That is a bit short, that is very tight. So I believe this, the talk show that we had was of value to them. So this is going to help them change their dress code. So I believe it was of importance to them that they had that talk show.
Because after leaving this place, I want to put in practice what the children have learned. The Gosham children, more especially, we put them in practice all the lessons learned. I'm going back to with the book we use for teaching the children so that I can teach them. We can go through it again and find ways of putting what we've learned into practice.
I want to thank REN for the good job they have done because they have really made a change in the communities. And I want to encourage the parents, those who refuse their children to come for the camp, let them come and learn more about themselves.
This time we got an opportunity that we got making a difference, support us especially for the visits to Wacheru, the Special Needs Center. So a big thank you to MAD, making a difference. And then a big thank you to Eric's, our funders, for, like I said in the beginning, camp was fun and it put a smile on every child's face. They come from different backgrounds, so this was an avenue to interact and get friends. So thank you to all the funders, to a special team of facilitators that worked for over 2 weeks with these children because every batch was coming in with new energy. And somehow they managed to work alongside these children to help them understand, to help teach them and facilitate learning.
I believe that the camp is a life-changing activity. Children get to interact with different people. They get to live a life that is different from home. So we should have that often. I think once a year is a little short.
All I gotta say is that Super Camp 2015 is gonna have a hard time because Super Camp 2014 was a lot of fun, and I just don't know if they can get any better than this.